We have a huge lineup of kids that have done business in Bitcoin, or we did before various people got sick and other things tripped us up. Nathan, though, is the one guy who's the last man standing, and as I've already pointed out, he has vast experience in Bitcoin sales. Now, admittedly, I have not worked with him for 30 years, and he hasn't got 20 years of experience in Bitcoin sales. He actually does have more experience in Bitcoin sales than 95% of people who accept Bitcoin as payment. He was a very early adopter, and so I'm going to turn it over to you. Thanks a lot for being with us, Nathan. Give him a hand, guys.
Okay, thank you. So I got the questions before I came, so I just prepared a presentation on them. So I'm going to start by giving an introduction of Bees Brothers. When I was about 8 and my brother was 6, we got our first beehive just to learn about biology, and then at the end of the year we had a little bit of extra honey, what we hadn't planned on. So we decided to go to our farmer's market and sell it. So that was good for the first week or two, and then somebody came up and told us that we needed to have a bunch of permits. And so we talked about doing that for a while, and then finally decided that we would do that. And the next year we had all the licenses and got more beehives and started experimenting with different products we could sell, and finally came up with a honey caramel recipe, and that was really good and was a big hit at the farmer's market. And then a couple years later, in 2011, we made our website. We didn't really know about Bitcoin then, so we just did PayPal and sold on Etsy. And then a little bit after that, a friend of my dad's introduced Bitcoin to us, and we started looking into that a bit more, talking about it more in our family. And finally, in January of 2012, we decided to get into it and started selling our honey caramels and honey for Bitcoin. And we bought some too. So, first question is, what do you sell with Bitcoin, and how do your sales in Bitcoin compare to other currencies you accept? So we sell the honey and honey caramels, and there's a couple other products, but those are our main things. Let's see. Oh, I forgot about the slides. So, just a couple years ago, right before we started doing Bitcoin, I think, we started selling wholesale, and that was also when we started selling online. And so we have a lot of sales with US dollars, but for every one PayPal order we get about 4 Bitcoin orders. So about half of our business is Bitcoin. Then Bitcoin has opened new markets for us. Like before, we only sold mostly in the United States, maybe 1 or 2 to Canada. And now we sell all over the world. I don't even know which countries we've shipped to anymore. We have considered dropping all of our fiat orders or sales and only accepting Bitcoin, but then we'd have to sell Bitcoin to pay for shipping and other expenses, and we'd rather keep our Bitcoin because, well, it has more value. So what are the disadvantages of Bitcoin? Only advantage I can think of is that we can't pay for shipping. Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing, well, besides talking to accountants that don't know what Bitcoin is and figuring out all of our taxes. And then listening to them talk about how they should have bought Bitcoin when we first talked to them about it. But those are really the only disadvantages. Next question, do you mine Bitcoin? Yeah, but we have so little that we pretty much only leave them on to see the lights flash. We have like 3 gigahashes per second, so not very much. So how does my family use Bitcoin on a daily basis? The day before we came out here, we bought half of a cow. So that's one thing. And then, let's see, we play around with them on different exchanges, see what we can make. And we are currently talking to people about, well, we're about to start talking to people, we've already talked to a few, about accepting Bitcoin so we can buy stuff from them. Like, one person owns an archery store near us, and we already talked to him and he's willing to accept Bitcoin. We just have to help him set it up. So that's what we're doing when we get back. Then we can get archery equipment, muzzle loaders, whatever we want. Then, let's see. My brothers play ice hockey, so they travel a lot for that. And every time they're in a city with a restaurant that accepts Bitcoins, they go there, which there's actually a couple that they've gone to. And let's see. Yeah, so next question is, what do your friends think about Bitcoin? This is a kind of hard, oh, do you have a question?
To help me
Wait, 1 second, because we're recording this. Even though you're only 10 feet away, you need the mic.
Oh, yeah.
Just to help me visualize your talk, do you mind telling what city you're in or near?
Oh, yeah. I live in Logan, Utah. It's up north by Idaho.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, yeah, this slide is what we've bought recently. So that's the meat. We bought some guns for Christmas. So where was I? So what do my friends think about Bitcoin? Well, since I homeschool my family or my friends, and well, they obviously accept Bitcoin and think it's pretty neat. And then another group is people that I meet online, mostly people that buy my honey caramels with Bitcoin. So they obviously think it's pretty good too. Then there's the adults that live near me that talk to me about it. And they thought I was crazy until the exchange rate shot up about, well, 6 months ago, about that. And now they talk to me about it. They think it's pretty cool, but they haven't ever bought any. And then there's the friends my age around me. Most of them don't really get it. They're just like, he's accepting some weird internet money. But my more techie friends, they thought I was weird until the exchange rate shot up, and now they wish they'd bought some. And none of them can get in now because they can't really have jobs until they're older. So, what are some of the future Bitcoin projects? For school, I am taking a class, and that I need to do a service project type thing. So, my idea is to talk to charities from around the United States, because it's an online class. I have friends all over the place. So I can use them to help me talk to charities all over the United States, or even like Canada or other countries, and help them get set up to accept Bitcoin, and then refer them to Bitcoin 100. Then, well, I'm also partnering up with Ed Clements to form the Bitcoin General Store, but I'm going to talk about that in a minute. The manager at our farmers market talked to us about giving a presentation to all of the vendors at the market about accepting Bitcoin. So we're doing that pretty soon before the market starts this summer. Also, there's a whole bunch of people that we'd like to accept Bitcoin, like my piano teacher. And so we're going to be talking to them about it, hopefully setting them up. My piano teacher actually, yesterday I guess, said she was interested in Bitcoin. That's what she told my mom back at home. And so that's pretty cool, because then I won't have to spend US dollars for piano lessons. So what are my views on limiting altcoins? Wow, I'm really forgetting these slides. So altcoins, I think they're kind of like cereals at the grocery store. There's tons of different types of cereals, and you don't have to buy all of them. If you like one, you can buy that. If you don't like another one, don't buy it. So altcoins are pretty much the same. If you don't want one, don't buy it. And to limit the altcoins would be somebody would have to have the authority to limit them. And where would you get that authority? And then, yeah, you can't really limit somebody's ability to create something, because if you limit that, you can limit other things. So yeah, I have an account on an exchange that has like 8 different types of altcoins, and I've been trading with all of them. And Bees Brothers accepts Litecoin as well. So what do I think about regulating Bitcoin? I don't think Bitcoin needs to be regulated really at all. If people do their homework, they can find out what they should buy. Like, if somebody doesn't have any reputation, you might not want to do business with them at first. Maybe give them a little bit to get a reputation. Or, yeah, but obviously people have to show up and start selling it first. And so people do have to take a risk. But a solution to that is the Bitcoin General Store. Where did that slide go? So we can take the risk. We have them send products to us. Then we can sell those and pay the people back. That's pretty simple. Then if they're a scam, they can't really send us anything. And nobody really loses anything. So let's see. I had some other stuff to say on the Bitcoin General Store. Yeah, so BitBrew is probably the longest running food vendor right now, and Bees Brothers might be the second. I'm not completely sure on that. So we've earned some trust and reputation in the market. And so, like I said, we can have people send products to us and sell them until people gain a reputation, and then they can sell it on their own. And we will be paying all vendors in Bitcoin, as well as any other operating expenses. We can't really do shipping right now, so if you have any ideas on that, please talk to me. So back to regulation. Nobody should be able to regulate Bitcoin. Like, government regulates things, but it usually is pretty pointless. Like, all the licenses we've got to handle food, we didn't really learn anything, and it's just common sense or stuff that we don't even need to know. So why should anybody regulate Bitcoin? Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. So people know what they can do, and we don't need somebody else telling them that they need to do a certain thing. They can regulate themselves. So if anybody has any questions, please ask them now. Yeah.
Okay, you have to use the mic because of the recording, okay?
Hello. I've been a fan of your site for a while. I think it's a great thing. I converted my lifestyle over to Bitcoin a few years ago, and I'm very pleased to see that there will be a Bitcoin general store hopefully soon. Can you tell me more about when you're projected to open and what types of products you'll offer? Is it a type of thing where you're going to be taking like at-home vendors, kind of like how you created your own honey and started selling, or is this like the general store is going to buy products from a larger producer and then resell them? Go ahead, thanks.
Yeah, so I think we're opening next week or maybe the next couple weeks. And I'm not completely sure what we're selling. I think it's just mostly a lot of at-home people that want to sell their products on our site. We've been contacting a couple people, maybe bigger companies, reselling their stuff. But it's a lot of different things.
Does that mean I will be able to sell my mom's lotion and books on this site?
Probably. I think so. You just email me or Ed.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Anybody else?
I just want to see the slide of your.
Oh. Yeah, this is my little sister. She's been learning about computers and stuff like that, so she'll be taking over our IT department pretty soon.
Okay, anybody else? How many of you as a kid had a lemonade stand, or you sold baseball cards or something? Two? Anybody else? Three? Yeah? 4? 5? Yeah. So a lot of kids take the opportunity of some sort. I'll tell you what I sold. We actually had a gun shop behind our house, and gun shop would drill barrels and do all this metal work and all this other kind of stuff. It was I have no idea what it was. It may not have been a gun shop. It may have been something else. But there was a pile of metal of various kinds that they would dump in the back of their shop. And we'd dig through it and we'd find these really cool metal cylinders and things that they, in the course of their manufacturing, they had drilled and didn't have any use for. And I would take those things to school and sell them because they were just like little metal cylinders or a little coil that would like slice your hand if you touched it wrong. And boys, I mean, it's like, wow, something that looks cool and it cuts you. I will give you a nickel for that. And so a lot of us had these kinds of crazy businesses as a kid. Now, what do you think the difference is between our little nickel and diming and Bitcoin? Do you feel like you have more opportunities as a kid running your business? Oh, and how much did you need your dad to support all this?
Well, I did need my dad a lot to start this. So, Bitcoin, I think it's really opened up the market. Like, how many people my age can run an international business? I mean, a lot of people my age probably start businesses, but they only grow in their community. They can't really expand. But with Bitcoin, we almost immediately started selling internationally.
Very good. Any other questions? Well, I would encourage all of you to take a little of this extra time to come up and meet Nathan. He's a really nice guy. And Craig, Nathan's dad. So you want to stand up and wave? Yeah, there he is. Well, he didn't stand up, but that's good enough. And get to know these guys. They're very neat, and they have a lot of my respect for whatever that's worth. And I really enjoyed your presentation, and I enjoyed hearing you in Las Vegas when you did the presentation there, and hope to see more of you. Let's give him a hand.
Okay, thank you.